Hi, this tutorial will teach you how to use the ticket support system for Tampa International Jet Center. Let's say you're a Tampa International Jet Center employee and you need to submit a ticket for either a facility repair or technical services such as IT help. What you will do is you will go to the support portal. In my case, since I am accessing this from home, it would be support.tampajet.com/portal. I'll hit enter, and it connects me to the site and then asks me for my username and password. In this particular case, I'm going to use front desk. You would actually use your own personal information, such as your first initial last name. So if yours happens to be first initial last name or first name last initial, that's fine too. And then you put in the password, whatever your password is to log into Windows, and then you'd hit login. If you're already logged into a computer at work, it will not ask you this. It'll automatically sign you in, and what you would see is right here, it says frontdesk@tampajet.com. It would have your email address there. If you are logged in with your local profile, it will automatically log you in when you go to support.tampajet.com/portal, or I'll type in another one here for you to see. It's actually http://vs2, which is virtual server 2/portal. And so if you are within the building accessing it from a domain computer, you can just type in vs2/portal and it will pop up. Anyways, using this, you can see a couple things on here. This is the TIJC Skynet. Of course, Skynet is a reference to the Terminator series. It comes compliments of Alex. He thought that would be kind of a nice, cool thing to do. We now have a tips and tricks section, which is going to be expanding daily, pretty much. In the body of the web page, you see Welcome to Tampa International Jet Center's IT/maintenance portal. Using this portal, you can submit trouble tickets or other requests to the IT department or maintenance department. You can track the status of tickets you have submitted. You can update tickets with comments or attachments that pertain to the issue. Let's say you're having an issue and you want to give a summary. In the summary box, you want to give a brief description of what's happening. In this case, I'm going to say Internet Explorer will not connect to a web page. And that's going to be the topic of this particular ticket. In the description, you want to give very detailed information, as much detail as you can. You want to say, when I click on IE, which is just a shortened version of Internet Explorer, and try to go to any site such as Google or MSN, I get a page cannot be displayed error. Go down to the next line, you can say something like, I have rebooted the computer, but the issue still persists. It would help if I spelled that correctly. Alright, so that gives me enough information, gives the team enough information to say, okay, there have been some troubleshooting steps taken. It is detailed. You're not saying the internet doesn't work. You're not saying that I can't find my shortcut. You're actually giving a very good description of what's happening when you're trying to access the internet. And also you're saying, look, this is what I've done, but I'm still having this issue. The more information that you can provide, the better that we can resolve the issues and basically get a good, clear picture of what is actually going on with the system. Too many times we simply band-aid an issue because we really don't know what's going on if we don't have a very good description of what's actually happening with the system. If someone says, oh, my internet's not working, and then we go in and we reboot the system and it starts working, of course, that's fine, and now you're able to function, but technically we still don't know what is causing that problem. If there are any details at all that you can give, that's awesome. You can also attach screenshots. If you take a screenshot of the error, you can actually browse to it and add a picture or a screenshot. We can go down and add, there's a picture of my son when he was little being a ham. I can add that file. You can clear the attachment. If you say, well, that's not the right one, you can clear that and nothing will be attached. At this point, I can see that there might be a related topic on this, so I could click that and possibly come up with a solution without having to submit the ticket. But just for this, the sake of this particular demonstration, I'm going to submit the ticket. And you can see now that it has assigned a ticket number 99. Internet Explorer will not connect to a web page. It also gives you a chance to put in extra comments. You don't have to do this. You can simply navigate away from this page. Close the web page. You can browse the tips and tricks. You can pretty much do whatever you want. You don't want to close this request because this would indicate that your problem is resolved. Maybe you fixed it yourself, and you want to close it to take it out of the system so that nobody takes the time to respond to it. If you're going to close the ticket yourself because you fixed it, you can simply say, I fixed the issue myself, and this is what I did. And make sure you give a complete description. Give a complete description of the steps taken to solve the issue. Okay. I'm going to put a note down here so everybody knows that this is a test. This is a test ticket for video tutorial creation. And I'll hit submit comment. And you'll notice that your comment is now up here if you had given one. And you'll notice on the right side, you'll see all of your open help requests, tickets that you have opened, and also tickets that have been closed. Now previously, we had an Optimum server trucks not transmitting ticket and a pilot briefing room, the printer wasn't working. Both of those tickets have been closed and rectified or resolved. So I'll go ahead and click on this. Internet Explorer will not open or will not connect, and it just gives me the details of the page. As people start to fix this, or people start to be assigned to this as a technician or somebody who's going to resolve your issue, you'll see that in the comments. I'm going to go ahead and accept this ticket as my own, and you can now see that the ticket was assigned to Mark Haggerty at 4:31 p.m. This means I've accepted ownership of the ticket and I will be addressing the issue. And if I go back to the TIJC Skynet homepage, I can see now that the issues that I have submitted are down here. Check the status of your open help requests, and that is the Internet Explorer will not connect to a web page. If I click on that, and again I've assigned it to myself, Mark Haggerty has the ticket. Now I can actually go in and add a comment. Okay, I've gone in and added a note as the support personnel who's working on the ticket. So we'll just go back to the home page, and I can go over here and say check the status of my open request. If I click that, and I would have also received an email stating that the technician or the support personnel have made comments or worked on the ticket. Okay, and the ticket comes up with the details. The comments, the first comment was I fixed the issue myself. Of course, that was just the description I gave when we were pretending to create the ticket and then add the comment after the ticket was created. You'll see the second action that was assigned to me. And the third action is where I went in as the support personnel and put in comments. I can make comments to the status of the job, such as parts have been ordered. I will look into this on Monday or Tuesday. Whatever I need to convey to the user to help them understand what's going into resolving their issue. I could also give instructions to help you resolve the issue at a user level. So I might say, hey, refer to this knowledge base article or the quick tips and tricks. This will teach you how to resolve your issue. A lot of issues are simply Windows, with Windows changing so much between Windows XP, Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 8.1. A lot of users don't normally keep up with that sort of thing. So this will be an opportunity for you to learn the ins and outs of Windows. It won't make everybody an uber geek, but it will definitely help you understand how Windows operates and get you more familiar with Windows. Another thing I wanted to point out was the tips and tricks tab. The tips and tricks tab, we're going to populate that pretty much, every week there's going to be several new topics added. Right now, you just have the one quick tip. A shortcut is not working or is missing. This seems to be a common issue. When people log in or log out of the domain computers, sometimes they'll leave programs running such as Outlook, Total FBO, Internet, whatever. When that happens and the profile is not completely synchronized, it loses some information. And if you leave a program open, you'll notice sometimes it'll tell you when you go to log off, it'll say, having trouble logging off because this program is open. Well, that's basically giving you a warning saying, all right, you need to close these prior to logging off. Again, a lot of users are just not that familiar with how Windows works, which is not a problem. But I want to be able to put tips and tricks on here that you guys can utilize to help make your lives easier. This is one of them that I'm speaking of, the shortcuts not working or missing. People report the shortcuts are missing from their taskbar, or it's just a white page, a white square now, and it's not working. It's saying, do you want to delete this because it's not there anymore? This is a workaround for it. It's not necessarily a fix, but it's a quick tip. And you can read that as a quick workaround. You can open Outlook and very quickly, if you don't have time to refresh or create shortcuts or shorts, as I call them, on the taskbar desktop. You can do this using the run command. If you right click on the Windows button, which is in Windows 8, it's the white Windows symbol at the bottom left of the screen. You'll then choose the run option, which is normally the third one from the bottom. A run box will open. And if you want to see your email, let's say your Outlook icon is missing, you simply type in outlook.exe and press the enter button, and Outlook will open. The same thing with Internet Explorer. If you cannot find your Internet Explorer icon, or if you believe that you don't have internet because it's gone, all you have to do is type iexplore.exe, all one word, and hit enter, and your Internet Explorer will open. You can also open a particular web page by putting iexplore.exe, a space, and then the website you want to go to, such as www.msn.com. You'll hit the enter key and it'll pop right up. And that's about it. We're going to expand this. We're going to have a full-on knowledge base, which you can you'll be getting references to here and there. The tips and tricks is designed primarily to help you become more familiar with Windows, and specifically Windows as it applies to the way Tampa Jet Center uses it. So I hope you enjoy this. I hope this is useful to you. And now you know how to submit a ticket. Thank you.